Good evening. Happy Wednesday. I hope it's been a good Wednesday for you. I hope the whole week for you has been spectacular. I hope that you are feeling good about you and your life and your connection to spirit. And I just so pray that the spirit of the season, the the joy and the beauty and the warmth and the love that this season tends to bring up in all of us. I hope that is touching you and healing you and bringing you joy. Joy is what the season is supposed to be all about. And I think we should have some of it. Don't you? So, here we are. It is Wednesday evening, and we're here because Wednesday matters, which is why I like to call this Wednesday Matters. It matters because you are in it, because your life is involved in it, because it affects you and you affect it and others. So, here we are. Happy Wednesday Matters. It's been a busy day at our house, besides dog walking and feeding of pets and all the natural stuff that fills the day up. We had the opportunity to be in on a Zoom birthday party for a very good friend who happens to live in New York, and I was struck during the party time by the miracle of Zoom that we could be with people who were 3 hours ahead of us in New York and yet still live. Um, when you stop to think about it, it's kind of amazing, isn't it? I mean, there we were. We were asked to wear hats of some sort to celebrate and just kind of create a party atmosphere since you can only see people from like here up anyway. And people did some clever things, some very clever things. Some people went for glamour and glamorous hats, and some people went for funny things. One gentleman had a bowl on his head, but it was a really pretty bowl, and it looked great on him. The birthday boy was wearing a crown, which was lovely, and we wore two things because that's just how we are. We wore the
Costume change.
costume change. Yes, we wore the funny bangers that we had for Halloween. Well, I did. And then we put on antler ears partway through that, of course, blinked and celebrated the season quite nicely. We thought. Uh, Cac, of course, not to be outdone by anybody in New York, wore her New York beret and her I Love New York face mask. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, it was very fun being with the people and celebrating. And these we usually go to New York during December and are with a good number of these people, and we just love them. So it felt good to be with them. It just really felt good to make that connection. And if there's people you miss, do something about it. Pick up the phone or create a Zoom meeting. It's free.
Make them wear funny hats.
Make them wear funny hats. That works. Yeah. Or make them dress in full-on costumes. Do something to make it special and to really connect. Um, I just feel very good about the experience that we had this afternoon, and and felt like we were really kind of with them. Wasn't quite the same, of course, but it sure beat missing them and feeling bad about not being with them. So I'm recommending that. for the holiday season. Take the time to be with the people you want to be with, and share the season and the joy, and laugh together. It's not the same as being able to hug them, but uh, but it's better than missing them. So let's see. Happy Wednesday, Lainey. Glad you're here. Good evening, Dana, my dear. How are you? How's life? Lainey, how is life? Talk to me. How are you all being? How is your life going? Do we have any prayer requests? Anybody that would like a little extra support during this phenomenal time of year? Is there anything that you would like us to pray for? Let us know. Just put it in a little box and it'll get taken care of for sure. We had 2 friends having major surgery this week, so there's been a lot of praying going on in this house. And I think we're happy to report, well, I really actually haven't heard from one of them yet. But we had a dear friend, who had brain surgery this morning, and we just got word that it went very well, and it's her 2nd brain surgery this year. Can you imagine? And she has just been in such great spirits. And and sent out a picture of herself this morning at 5:45 or something, going into the hospital. Oh, God, I don't know that I'd ever do that. She's a kick. So, God protects those who make us laugh. And she's got to be protected.
And the other one is fine too, coming home tomorrow. The heart surgery, open heart surgery person.
That's not the other one I was thinking of. So there's 3, not 2.
All right.
I don't think you knew.
Oh.
John at Unity was having back surgery.
Oh, so I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know that. You're right.
And then open heart surgery. Not the 3rd friend. It's been a week. Lots of prayers. Are you glad to be back home, Lainey? That's great. Loved the picture. Loved knowing that your dad is home and well, and that you got to be with him. In January, you're going back for his birthday? Is that right? I think that's right. Anyway, we're glad you're home, too. We're glad you're back with us. California's a good place to be. And it's been relatively warm, hasn't it? Is it just me? I keep getting up in the morning and dressing for winter and then having to change clothes about 11 o'clock because I'm too hot. So life is good. I'm glad to hear that. Dana, do we know anything more about John? Keep us up to date, please. Tina's having hand surgery tomorrow. Okay. Left or right? I like all the details I can get. That way I can actually picture it and do a little Reiki while I'm at it. So let me know what I need to know. How's your Christmas planning going? Are you done with your shopping? Have you shopped mostly online? What's this season looking like for you? It's different for all of us. I know that. And we're adjusting, I think, to the new whatever it is right now. Left hand. Okay, Tina, thank you. We will be praying for you. Yeah, there could be a club. We don't want to start that club. Let's just get everybody healed and well and work from there, shall we? I'm leaning over so you can see him. Let me get him down because he's just really too cute to be sitting. He looks like kind of a blur up there. But we brought out the Christmas reindeer and set him up in the window. Wait a minute, which way do I go? I go that way. There he is. Hi. There he is. I need to bring him back. Hold on. No, there's too much light on him.
Too much light on him?
Yeah, there's too much light on him.
But he's supposed to sparkle.
There, now he's sparkling.
All right.
There he's sparkling. He's pretty cute, isn't he? I love him. He never goes too far away. Now, I probably can't put him back up on the window without having him crash. Cat did this so well earlier, and then I have to get involved and screw it all up. There. All right. He gets his own spotlight, does he?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
It's television.
Okay. I'm reading Laney's. I hope you all did. It's very funny. Not sure I want to go back in not California weather. Yeah. You know, just the other side of the Rockies. Well, not even that far. It just gets weird, doesn't it? The sun doesn't shine all the time in some of those places. And they have white, wet stuff that falls out of the sky. And it's cold. Yeah, there's a big storm, I think, that was just going all the way across. And
It's 30 degrees and snowing in New York.
30 degrees and snowing in New York. Okay, so John's waiting for a date. You'll let us know when he gets that. Well, he's at Cedars. He's going to be in really good hands. Yeah, I was reading something today, it popped up in the corner of my screen that said in Los Angeles County, one person in 80 has COVID. Wow. That vaccine just can't come soon enough, huh? But you know, it's a good thing they're being careful. Yeah, Tina, where you are, you get a lot more rain than we do, don't you? I don't do cold really well. I do cold better than I do hot. But it reaches a point, and if I'm tired, I'm just a mess. I don't know what that connection is. We do Tai Chi 2 nights a week, Tuesday and Thursday. And we're doing it outside for COVID reasons. And it's funny to see the different layers of bundled up that people get in California, that people get because we're out there for an hour doing our Tai Chi. And some of us wear kind of lightweight jackets or heavyweight sweatshirts. And then there are those who have that and then a coat over it and a scarf around their necks and a hat on and gloves.
And liners.
All kinds of stuff. Varying degrees of acceptability to cold, I guess is what it is. But we all do it. We keep doing it. I said if it rains, we're going to go into the garage. And that's when we may all just decide we don't have to be there in the rain and the cold. That's just way too much. Glad your numbers in Oregon have been very low, Tina. Stay there while it's safe. And wear your mask. I have a whole wardrobe now of masks. Most of us do, I guess. I've got a gray one because I wear gray a lot, and I wear a black one for doing weddings and most of the time, and all kinds of them.
You have a flowered one.
I have
and
a flower. I have two
one.
different kinds of flowered ones. Yes, I do.
Black one.
Are you asking us,
Gingham one.
Tina, dear? Did we get a box from you? No, but I do have something I wanted to show. Where is my Tina book? It's out in the hall, isn't it?
The cats were reading it.
Well, that's appropriate. We sent for something last Wednesday because because it was mentioned and we were talking about it. I I just can never get used to which way I'm supposed to go with this thing. It's Tina's book, if you don't know that. And it's really good. It's really fun. If you have a child to, or a cat lover, to yet buy for, it's available on Amazon, yes?
Yes, it is.
It's charming. It's just charming. We read it and then we put it in the hall for the cats to see, and they've been reading it. They read real slow. They're not real good at it, but they love the pictures. The pictures are just grand. Let me show you. Yeah. That's sweet. They're just, the art is really wonderful. And then there's a section in the back where children of any age can color. See? They can color Nini and Taz. It's a great book, Tina. It really is. It's fun to read. It's a sweet story. It feels real life as you're reading it. It's just wonderful. And knowing you made it just that much more fun. So if anybody still needs a child's gift or a cat lover's gift, highly recommended. The Two True Adventures, Nini and Furrens, Furrends, Explore the Neighborhood, and by Tina Parkhurst. You get one. Yes. I just loved it. I thought it was wonderful. So, we got a notice somewhere along the line that the city of Ventura was going to do a light show at the fairgrounds. And I thought, what? How can they do that? How can they have all those people walking together? They don't. It's a drive-through light show. And it's getting rave reviews. People just seem to love it, and apparently it's well worth the price of admission. And it lasts through the first couple of days of January. So you can even go after Christmas if you still need a little light in your life. All of which leads me right to what I wanted to talk to you about tonight. Oh, before I start, remember last week or the week before, maybe even, I said have a candle handy. I would like you to get a candle handy. So do I need to blab for a moment more while you get a candle handy, or do you have one ready? We don't need it for a little bit yet, but I would like you to have a candle handy.
Don't go to the store.
Don't go to the store. Just come on. You're metaphysicians. You have candles. I know you have candles. We all have candles. It's like a sickness. You're welcome, Tina. Yeah, it suggests in the book, Tina, that it is going, the Two True Adventures is going to be a series, and I look forward to that. So, I got my copy. I got mine. You get yours. It's good. So, light shows. My favorite time of year to go to Ireland is December, because there's lights everywhere. It's just beautiful. And the main shopping area is lit up so beautifully. You get there and you don't want to leave because it's so pretty. I could just stand out in the middle of the place and look at the lights and be in awe. and not shop. And you all know me well enough to know that for me not to shop, the lights have got to be pretty spectacular. They're wonderful. It's a real festival of light at this time of year. Everyone participates in one way or another. We've put lights out around the house. We've got candles that we light. We have special candles that are just Christmas candles that we light. Everyone participates in one way or another. Hannukah began at sundown on December 10th and lasts for 8 days and nights, ending at sundown, as a matter of fact, this Friday. And it's celebrated each of the 8 nights with the lighting of the candles of the menorah, which commemorates the Jews recapturing the Temple of Jerusalem from the Syrian Greeks in 164 BC. The temple was about to be rededicated with the lighting of the eternal flame, which sits over the altar, when it was realized that no one had thought about the oil, and there didn't seem to be any. After a pretty massive search, someone found a small vial of consecrated oil, but it was clearly only enough to keep the eternal flame burning for one night. But it was all that they had, that and their faith. So the lamp was lit. And tradition tells us that by a miracle, the light burned for 8 days until more oil could be obtained. That was over 2,000 years ago. Today, in Jewish homes throughout the world, a candle is lit each night, and the candelabra, the menorah, is then often placed in a window so that anyone passing by will see it and be reminded of the miracle. I particularly like the Hannukah story because, well, it's not making the blind see and the lame walk, is it? It's a seemingly small thing. Lighting a lamp. Lighting a lamp. And God kept the lamp burning for 8 days when there was really only enough oil for one night. The toy, the dreidel that children spin during the Hannukah season, bears the inscription, "A great miracle happened there." A great miracle. See, I think that's really understanding what miracles are all about. Sometimes they're huge. And sometimes they're as simple as keeping a lamp burning and the light shining. And there are, of course, more light celebrations. The Christian observation of Advent began Sunday, November 29th, and will end on Thursday, December 24th. It's always the 4 Sundays before Christmas Day. And Advent is intended as a time of preparation for the arrival of the Christ child in each of our lives. And each Sunday, a new candle is lit from the white Christ candle. First, the prophet's candle, symbolizing hope. The second week, the Bethlehem candle, symbolizing faith. The third week, the shepherd's candle, symbolizing joy. And finally, the fourth candle, the angel's candle, symbolizing peace. I just got a note that said, "Is your microphone on?" If it's plugged in, it's on.
Sorry. Everybody's having trouble hearing you.
Everybody's having trouble.
So-
Maybe I just need to be closer.
Be closer.
I'll be closer. Hold on. We can do that. There. Now I'm closer.
Sorry.
See if that helps. No, that's fine. I want you all to be able to hear. Humankind has celebrated, honored, using light for thousands of years. The observation of the celebration of light precedes Christianity. Pagans celebrated with light as well this time of year. Lighting fires to ward off evil by celebrating the light that they knew would always return. There's faith. In the darkness of winter, to light fires to celebrate the return of the light. Faith in that which is as yet unseen. The lighting of the Yule log and decorating our houses with lights are actually based in pagan tradition. Just in case you didn't know that, but I bet you did. Light and spirituality seem to be nearly synonymous, don't they? Exodus tells us that when Moses came down from the mountain, his face radiated light. Jesus was described as a burning and a shining light. Thoreau tells of sitting on a hill outside Boston and seeing the city afire with the light of spirit. And then there's the creation story itself. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. Lots and lots of light. Metaphysicians traditionally are good at talking about things, and we can indeed talk about the light. We can study the light, we can analyze the light, we can contemplate the light. But there is nothing in all of this that is greater than the experience of the light. So my thought for us tonight was that we would consider the lighting of the candles of Hannukah and see what meaning we might find for ourselves in that ancient tradition. The center candle, or the candle that is out of alignment with the other 8 candles, is the minister, the servant candle. Its flame is used to light the other candles. In 1983, Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary wrote a song entitled "Don't Let the Light Go Out." In it, he describes the meaning of each of the candles in the menorah. The first candle is for the light that would not die, the light of the Maccabees, but also the light of faith, the miracle of the light that lives within each one of us and cannot die. The second candle was for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. It is, I think, to a great degree, the pain that all of us feel when we are discounted, when we are ignored, when we feel invisible. The third candle is lit for the sacrifice that justice and freedom require. Freedom comes at a price. We know that. Whether we're talking about political freedom, personal freedom, or spiritual freedom. It is easy sometimes, I think, to assume that others will do it for us. But are we willing to make the sacrifice that is really called for? Judging from the number of people who are unwilling to wear a mask because it is uncomfortable, or unwilling to stay 6 feet away because that's just not what they want to do, or unwilling not to gather in large groups, I'd say some of us are not willing to pay the price. Ernest Holmes says the price must be paid in mental and spiritual coin. Are we willing to give up our old attachments, our old ideas, our comfort zone, our limiting beliefs, in order to be truly free and in order to be truly safe. The fourth candle on the menorah is for wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. To know peace instead of war. As individuals, to know peace instead of resentment. To know peace as the platform for the arrival of spiritual consciousness in our lives. To know when it is time for each of us to be the presence of peace. I was in a car dealership over the weekend. Just sitting there while, I don't know, Cat went in one direction and the salesman went in another, and there I was. And a gentleman walked by with a mask on and looked over at me with my mask on and said, "When Trump is president again, we won't have to bother with these." Now, there's two statements there that shocked me. Number one, that he thought Trump was going to be president again in January. And number two, that he so resented wearing the mask that he thought Trump's presidency would mean he could take the mask off. I know what I wanted to say. I know what I thought about saying. But I knew in that moment that it was time for me to be the presence of peace. And so I just let him walk on. By then he was kind of walking anyway, to be quite honest, because I don't think he cared what I had to say. But I didn't think I needed to start a revolution. The fifth candle of the menorah is for the strength to never become our own foe. How many of us can be our own worst enemy? How often have we laughed about that? But is it really a laughing matter? Who will listen? Who will respect us if we don't honor ourselves? If we don't respect ourselves? How can we make a better world if we don't believe we can make a better self? The sixth candle of the menorah is for those suffering the pain that we learned long ago. This is the candle of compassion. The candle that reminds us to love those for whom extra grace may be required. To love those who have not yet learned what we've learned, who do not yet know what we know. The seventh candle, Peter Yarrow wrote, was for all we believe in, that anger will not tear us apart. Too often, I think, in the name of faith or religion or politics, or simply in the name of being right, we forget that others may believe differently, may see things differently, as the man in the showroom clearly did. But that in an unlimited universe there is more than one path to paradise. Let us practice understanding. Let us not let anger, whether it is at another faith or another nation or another person or another viewpoint, let us not let that anger tear us apart. The 8th candle is to find us together with peace as the song in our hearts. One of the oldest greetings is peace be with you. In music, let there be peace on earth. At Christmas, peace on earth, goodwill towards men and women. It can be a hopeful phrase, or it can be the song in our hearts. We choose. The chorus of the Peter Yarrow song is simple. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Let it shine. The light within each of us is that light. And whatever is going on in the moment, we must remember that the light is greater than the darkness. Let it shine. Let your light shine. Darkness is simply the absence of light, perhaps a denial of the light, but it's a condition, not a cause. When we bring even the smallest candle into a darkened room, where does the darkness go? Yet you can bring all the darkness you can gather into a lighted room, and in the presence of the light, it simply vanishes. Proverbs says, the spirit of man is the candle of the Lord. Like Jesus, you are a burning and a shining light. You are a child of the day, of the light, not of the darkness. There has to come a time in each of our lives when we allow ourselves to be that light which is within us. When our lives speak only the truth, when we live with conviction, the life we are intended to live. That time may be now. I'm going to ask you now to light your candle. And I have one here for us and for those of our spiritual family that could not be with us tonight. And I'd like you to imagine that the flame is the light within you, which is intended to remind you that we are not only in the presence, but that we are a presence of God. As you hold your candle, I invite you to join me in a short meditation. You don't need to close your eyes. Simply look into your candle. A spiritual light burns within you. An eternal light burns within you. A divine light, God's light, burns within you. Let your light shine. The light in your life the light you throw upon the lives of others. That light is generated in your own soul, and it cannot be extinguished. We are candles. We may be torches. We may yet be the light of the world. In the temple of your soul, over the altar of your heart, the light always shines. The light that lives at the center of everything and everyone. The light that can be obscured, but can never be obliterated. Let your light shine. Where there is darkness, let your light shine. Where there is misunderstanding, let your light shine. Where there is fear, let your light shine. Where there is anger or resentment, let your light shine. Where there is no light apparent, let your light shine. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. But without your light, your earth is without form and void. Without your light, there is no joy or wonder. Without your light, there is no love, no hope, no peace. And now the Spirit of the Lord moves across the darkness and finds your beautiful face. And that same Spirit moves through you now. And the voice of God within you whispers, let there be your light. And there is light. Your light. Holy light. God is with you. And you are the light of the world. Remember your light. Remember this night. And the day will come when those who remember will say, a great miracle happened here. Standing in the light, we let that be so. And so it is. the season of light. But all of those great lights around us, the lights on the Christmas trees, the lights on the houses, the lights at the fairground, those lights are really just reminders. But let them be that. When you're driving around and you see a house with its Christmas lights on, let it be a reminder to you, for you, of the light within you. I love the houses up on the hills. As we do our Tai Chi, there's our instructor's backyard goes up a very tall hill. And just beyond that, there's a big house that has lights out that change color. And it's beautiful, especially once it gets dark and you're looking at it through the darkness, and there's this light on a hill. And it's lovely, and it feels very whole, very spiritual to me. Let the light remind you of the light within you. And then be willing to shine your light. Don't be afraid to let the world know who you are. Now, I know for some of you that's like preaching to the choir. You've never been afraid of anything, certainly not letting people know who you are. But for others, a gentle reminder. Jennifer, we're just glad you're here. Thank you, darling. And yes, isn't that part of the beauty of all of this? Part of the major miracle, I think, that you can just click on it later and there I am all over again. I'm glad you're here. This time of year, it's easy to lose track of time. Just don't lose track of your light. Don't let anybody take that from you. And shine, shine, shine. Not hard to do. Be the you that you'd like to be. It's a choice. The you that you would like to be is the you that God intended you to be. So be that. And if you forget, then just remember that life is a spiritual exercise and get back on that treadmill. Click light. Yes, Laura. Hi, sweetie. No, Tina, I don't imagine that you are often accused of being shy. I certainly never accused you of that, nor would I. And that's part of your beauty. Just let it shine. Let it shine. 'Tis the season for shining lights. What do I do? There I go. 'Tis the season. Everywhere we look, there's light. Let that be a reminder. Let it be a cosmic 2x4 if it needs to be at any given moment, but let it be a reminder that the light within you is greater than anything surrounding you or detouring you. That's the lesson. Remember the light within and let it shine. Now, how about a quick prayer? We have time for that. I know we just did a meditation, but you know, it never hurts to pray. So let's take a moment. If your candle is still lit, you can focus on it. If it's not, then close your eyes or just soft focus, whatever works for you, so that your attention moves toward the light and not toward all of those things that sometimes surround us. And let us just take this moment to remember those that we love. Remember those who could not be with us tonight. Remember those who are undergoing medical conditions. Remember those who are alone and lonely. And include all of them in our prayers. Even remember those who think differently than we do, believe differently than we do. Everyone can use prayer. Everyone. So we take a moment now to simply remember that all that there is God. And while it sometimes feels like there's us and them, the truth really is there is only God. All that there is God. And when we remember that, when we go within and touch the source of the light within us and let our light shine, then we truly know the presence and the present that God is in our lives. So I speak my word tonight for all of thems and all of the S's, knowing that we are, in fact, one in the life of God. I speak my word for understanding and peace and love and divine right action in all things. And I draw the circle bigger and include love and understanding and kindness for those who appear to be others, but who in my heart I know are not. And I speak my word tonight for all of those that are hospitalized, who are hurting, who are ill, that they all may be healing, that they all may be healed. And I speak my word tonight for hurting hearts and broken hearts, that they too may be mended. 'Tis the season of miracles, this season of light. And I claim for all of us and all of them, all of the miracles that we can hold. May there be love on earth. May there be understanding. May there be peace on earth. And I know it begins with me. We truly are all in this together. And the this is the life of God. And so we are lifted up. We become the peacemakers, the miracle workers, the presence and the light. Let us be the light that all can see. Let us be what we were created to be. in deepest gratitude for the miracle that happened here. I simply say thank you and let it be so. And so it is. Another wonderful Wednesday. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate your presence. My life is enriched by your participation, and I thank you. It's a good night for a miracle, don't you think? Well then, let it be so. I love you. I'll see you Sunday. Bring a friend. Have a great week.